Yo, what's good, everyone? Good morning. It is 4 in the morning right now. It's 52 degrees outside. I can't even talk. I feel like my teeth hurt. It is cold AF. And we are heading out to the yard. We got some work. We got to pick up like around 7 in the morning, but I still got to get an empty from the yard, do all this process. Hopefully, we can get there and have everything ready, which I think we will. We always get it done. You know me. I'm the most experienced rookie of all time. All right. You don't even know who you messing with. So that's how it's gonna go for today. I think we have another job right after, lined up right after this one. So I think we're gonna be done like around 2 p.m. most likely. So let's get this show started. Let's go get some money. Let's go get some money. And let's get this show started so we can go get some money. All right, we're out of the yard now. We're on the freeway. What better way to talk about local positions or OTR positions than being on the road? Obviously, we're going to be aware of our surroundings. We're going to be driving safe, eyes forward, checking your mirrors every 4 seconds. So there's nothing much we got to worry about other than traffic building up. Hopefully it doesn't happen anytime soon because we got to get this load going on. But anyways, to what I was saying, when I was over the road, the thing that I like better than doing local is the freedom on the road. What I mean by that is here when you're doing local, yes, you go home every night. But while you're on the job, you got to deal with traffic at all times. Every day, all day, it's traffic. You got to work around busy hours, rush hours, whatever you want to call them. You got to work around it. With OTR or over the road, the thing that I think is better is the freedom of sometimes you go hours without even dealing with traffic. You get on a highway, you get on a freeway, and you basically get on that motherfucker for hours sometimes, and you don't even hit traffic unless you're passing through a small city or it's early in the morning and it happens to be a school day and there's a lot of traffic in that small city. But other than that, you really don't hit traffic crazy like how you do in a city like LA. Not too long ago, a couple days ago, I should have brought you guys along. I should have recorded that day, but I didn't. I went to LA and I had this super tight road that I had to basically park in the middle of so I can get loaded. Those are things that I deal with a lot more frequently doing local, where I have to kind of be in tight spaces or be in uncomfortable situations where I know I need to shut down a road to kind of find parking so I can get loaded. With over the road, it's mostly warehouse to warehouse. I'm not really dealing with tight spaces unless the yard that I'm gonna deliver at is pretty small. But other than that, there's not much to complain about when it comes to over the road, when it comes to freedom on the road. Local, it's a lot more constricting in a way because of traffic, but with OTR, it's more of a cruising type of vibe where you just hit the road for hours and don't even hit traffic most of the time, you know? Also, another point that I would want to bring up is, I guess, time management. I guess we can put it as that. So with local, at least the way I'm working right now, I don't have a set schedule. As you know, when you work a normal job, you kind of, hey, you're gonna come in Monday through Wednesday, 3 in the morning until 12 p.m. And Thursday and Friday, you're gonna come in at 9 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. Stuff like that. I don't have that here. Here it's more of like, my driver leader plans me for today, right? I have these 2 jobs lined up. So I'm supposed to start my day early, right? I came into the yard at 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning because I have to pick up this load at 7 in the morning. Plus, I still needed to look for an empty trailer around the yard, which still takes some time. So I have to come with a little bit of cushion time to have things ready. But let's say for tomorrow, I don't know what I'm doing for tomorrow. And I don't think I'm gonna know until later today, later in the afternoon, or later tonight, or early in the morning tomorrow. I don't know. I'm mostly like an on-call type of guy. So I have to manage my time accordingly, or at least be prepared in a way where I know I'm gonna be doing a certain job. Like if I know the job that I'm doing, I take it easy because I know it's not something for me to rush. But if it's a job that I've never done, like this one, we're doing a Shasta load, we're gonna take it to a Sam's. I know right here they're pretty strict on time, so I'm trying to get there as fast as I can and the most safe way that I can, or in the safest way that I can. That's why I'm just talking like this to you guys. But for OTR, when it comes to time management, it's much more flexible in a way, I guess, in a way that you sort of can have a lot of cushion time. I think I'm saying that right. So OTR is better with time management because you have more cushion time from one delivery to another. So let's say, for example, I get dispatched for this load right now. For example, we take the Shasta load. We're supposed to deliver it in Phoenix by tomorrow before noon. Anytime before noon. So it could be at 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning, anytime before noon. So I would go pick up this load here in California and then start making my way out to Phoenix, Arizona. That's like a 5-hour drive or 6-hour drive, I think. If we take the I-10 east all the way to Phoenix, it should be like around 5 hours. So I would probably park at the Phoenix terminal, shut down, and let's say I have to deliver in Chandler, Arizona. And Chandler is like 20 minutes from the Phoenix terminal, I think. I might be tripping. So I'll just wake up early, like at 7 in the morning, and try to get that delivered tomorrow before noon. Right, that's an example. I don't think it's a good one, but you know what I'm saying. We drive for 5 hours one day, shut down, wake up the next, deliver, and then we wait for the next dispatch. Sometimes you already have loads pre-planned throughout the week for some, I guess, accounts. You already have something planned, which is good because you already know what you're going to be doing throughout the week. You know where you're going. So I think that's where OTR has a little bit more of a point. It gets a point, I guess. I don't want to make it a tier system, but OTR does time management a little bit better than local. Because local, it's more of a hassle getting through traffic, having to plan really accordingly to your route and trying to get there on time and XYZ. With the OTR, it's basically the same thing, but you have more cushion time to get from one spot to the other. So that's what I like about OTR, time management. You know, freedom on the road, you don't hit traffic as much, and you get a lot of cushion time in between deliveries. So far, OTR has some good things. But with that being said, I mean, local, it's nice too. Sometimes we have short days. Sometimes I even work 4 hours, 5 hours, and I get a daily flat rate. So it don't matter how long I work, I get paid the same. You know? So in some ways, it's a little bit better than OTR. As of OTR, I don't really know what my paycheck is until the end of the week, until I add up on my miles. And sometimes the miles that I did don't add up to the ones on my paycheck. So, yeah. All right. So I parked here at this little like abandoned warehouse while Shasta gets a door ready for us. It's always the same door. I've only come. Well, never mind. I thought the guy was moving, but I've only been here once. They're pretty strict about their yard. It's really small too. I'll probably show you guys right now in a bit when I get moving, but we're gonna be waiting here for a little while. I don't know how much longer the guy has left. Oh no, he is moving. Hold on. But let's touch on some more points that I have here. So far, we already talked about home time on local and OTR. Obviously, with local, we come home every night. OTR, you drive 10 hours straight, 11 hours straight, and go to sleep and rinse and repeat. And same thing with local. Sometimes you work 10 hours, sometimes you work 8 hours. It really depends the company on, it just depends on the company on what they have set for your schedule, I guess. But for Swift, there's days where I work 4 hours, 5 hours, 3 hours, and I go home. There's times where I work all day. There's times, where it could be either last minute load before I go home, like I'm already in the yard, last minute load, and I have to do that. It's really inconsistent. Like I was saying before, I don't have a really grounded, I guess, set schedule of like, okay, I'm gonna come in at this time, this time, this time. I mostly just have a, I guess, an idea of what I'm gonna be doing, but not completely 100% like, okay. But for the last 2-3 weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month by now, we've been doing just NRT and target returns and stuff like that. This is the first time I come out over here in a while. I've been out here before, but I haven't left the IE, like San Bernardino. I haven't left Moreno Valley for the past month. I want to say, yeah, for the whole month of January, we've just been doing a lot of NRT and target. That's what we've been doing for January. But this is the first load that I've been sent out a little far. It's like right next to Norwalk. So another point that I had here was the route lengths, or I guess how far you go. But what I said was sort of freedom. So with OTR, we have freedom on having more cushion time in between loads, and local, it's a little bit more constricted or a little bit more on a strict timely basis. I guess that's what I want to say. Where with local, you really have to plan out the route on where you're gonna go and how much you want to really take at a distribution center. You don't want to take too long somewhere and then be in a rush to get somewhere else. I guess that's what I want to say with local. But OTR, you kind of have a cushion time and drop and hook or live unload or load. For example, right now we're going to do a live load and we're going to do a drop and hook at a Sam's in Ontario. So we all do it. We do everything in the same day, in the same clock. Sometimes with OTR, you might drive for 5 hours and deliver early in the next morning. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was talking about. Work schedule, I already talked about that too. For OTR, it's really inconsistent. You might be working late nights, early in the morning. Like I said, what I miss from OTR is working late night. That's what I miss. Driving on the road late night and grabbing a coffee, stopping at a truck stop and doing what I gotta do, right? Local, there's some companies that, you work early in the morning. Like I said, it could be from 3 in the morning to 12 p.m., 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., or you can be working from 10 p.m. all the way to like 6 a.m. I don't really know. I'm kind of making up these schedules, but you get the idea. Cargo types, what I get to haul or what I get to pull in these trailers. OTR, I did a lot of industrial paper rolls, a lot of that. I did a lot of Target returns, a lot of Costco, and I don't remember what else. But for the most part, it was just that. It was just a lot of bigger companies like Walmart, Sam's, Costco. For like right now, we're doing Shasta. For OTR, it was like that, like bigger companies or paper, industrial paper. And for local, I've been doing the same thing, kind of in a way where I do P&G and Costco or Target returned, and right now Shasta, Sam's, etc. You get the idea. I've been doing the same cargo hauls for the past year. My cargo hasn't changed. It's mostly just the routes. Regulations and compliances. With local, we don't have as much regulations or as many regulations as an OTR driver. For example, like with OTR, if you're gonna be pulling, I think, let's say a hazardous cargo, like hazardous materials, you kind of have to go into your book or into the manual, look into the load specific details. You have to go onto the DOT page. I don't remember the whole process, but you kind of have to really investigate. Like, let's say if you're going from California all the way to New Mexico, you kind of have to look at the regulations through the states you're going to be passing through, which is most likely Arizona, Texas, uh, man, I forget what other states, but the states that basically connect you to get to Texas or New Mexico or whatever state you're going to, you kind of have to see what regulations fit. For local, since I'm in California and I mostly just operate in the IE area or the LA area, I don't really leave those two areas unless I go to like Oxnard or Victorville. But that's a rare occasion where I go that far. So we don't have that many regulations unless we're pulling hazardous or anything that contains, corrosive materials. Is that the word? I think I might be butchering in it. I haven't pulled any hazardous materials yet, or anything that requires me to put my plaque cards. Like if it is hazardous, it's really light, and they tell me like at the shippers, they tell me you don't have to use the placards. You can just pull it like that. It's not even a heavy load, or it's not anything super serious. So I'm like, all right, cool. Other than that, I think we hit everything that we were supposed to hit. I'm not really putting this into like a tier list or which one is better than which. Nothing like that. It's more of my review, my 1 year review that I've been working here. I've done local and OTR the same amount of time, 6 months in one and 6 months in the other. I'm grateful and I'm lucky that I was able to even do both in such a short amount of time with the same company. And I really like Swift so far. A lot of people are going to talk down about it. A lot of people have their own opinions on Swift and whatnot. But for me, it's been good. I like it. I can't complain. It's decent money. It's good money. And there's a lot of good work to get done. That came out wrong. But there's a lot of work to get done. And it's good work. It's not anything where I feel like, I wasted a whole day on this or whatever. It's been good to me. This job's been good to me and I like it. So I guess as my 1 year review comes to an end, I'd have to say, OTR and local, they're both good positions, depending on what you want to do. If you want to do OTR, that's up to you. But for me, I've said it many times before, my main goal was to blow up and act like I don't know nobody. No, I'm just kidding. My main goal was just to do local. I wasn't really in OTR because I wanted to do OTR. It was just more to get my experience. That's the thing too. A lot of different companies won't hire you as a local driver. I think that should be another point. Let me add that real quick. Last minute point. How accessible or accessibility? Yeah, how accessible is a certain position as a new driver? How accessible is OTR? OTR for any mega corporations like Swift, Warner, CNR England, Schneider. Those are the big four that come to mind because JB Hunt. I think JB Hunt also gets new drivers. There's many companies that get new drivers, but they usually start you with OTR, over the road, because it is cheaper to keep drivers that way. They don't have to use so much money for insurance on trucks because you're new. And also if you're a younger driver, it's more expensive to get insurance with like a smaller company that pays better, but they want 2-3 years of experience. For local, it's not that accessible to some people or to majority of people. Usually to be local, they want you to have 2 years, 3 years of experience, depending on the company. If it's a mom and pop sort of deal, they want you to have a little bit more experience under your belt. But in my case, I'm gonna use myself as an example. I was OTR for 6 months and then I became local. That was just the opportunity that Swift was giving me. I had 6 months of experience. They offered me a local position and I took it because that's what I wanted to do. And that got my foot in the door of what I really wanted to do. So, when it comes to doing over the road, it's accessible to a lot of people, to a lot of new drivers, especially big companies. There are some other companies, smaller companies that don't require you to have that much experience, and they'll still let you do local. But for the most part, if you're a new driver, you're going to start out doing over the road, OTR. That's the main gig that you're going to be doing out here. But other than that, I'd have to say, none of them is better than the other. Like I said, OTR is not better than local. Local is not better than OTR. We all do the same thing. We all get the job done. So I don't want to start any sort of like, I don't want to call it drama, but like discussion of like, oh no, but OTR does way more than local because we have to do this and we have to do that and we have to be on the road. And yes, I know, I did it. I know exactly what you're talking about. But local, a lot of long haul drivers talk down on local because they think that all we do is just sit around. Yeah, we do, but you guys do it too. We do it. The OTR people, we do it too. I don't even want to say we because I'm not OTR, but OTR, you sit down too. I mean, you're driving for a longer period and whatnot, but still, we do the same job. None is better than the other. We all do the same thing. We're all getting stuff done. You're doing flat. Like I have a flatbed guy right here. He's about to unload this whole trailer of just pallets. So I mean, I get it. Some jobs, even food service, you have to unload your own trailer and do all that and do all this. I get that. I'm lucky enough to have this job where it's just drop and hook, and I get paid fairly good. So I don't have nothing to complain about. Like I've said many times before, I really have nothing to complain about when it comes to my job. And I just don't want to start a whole discussion on which one is better because none of them are better than the other. Regional is not better than OTR, and OTR is not better than local, and local is not better than flatbed, and flatbed is not better than food service, and food service is not better than concrete. Or you get the biz. You get the biz. You know what I'm talking about. I guess to some people it does matter because they take pride in their work and what they do. Some people have been doing this for generations. Some families have been doing flatbed for generations. So they think they're better than other people. So, I'm just yapping on about these things that, to some people they have some importance, to some it doesn't. To some point, to some extent, I understand. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be ignorant. But it's more of a review. I'm just giving you guys a review of my time here and what I've done so far and how proud I am to be able to do these type of jobs. You know what I'm saying? You get my drift. You get the biz. So please, don't be too mean to me in the comments and tell me that I'm being ignorant, I'm talking out of my butt. Some people, it might sound that way, but it's just a review, guys. But anyways, if you're going to comment something, at least comment down below your work experience, what you've done, or what are you currently doing right now? What are you hauling? What are you guys doing with your CDL? Just share some stories down below. How's it been for you guys? How long you been driving? 9 years, 10 years, 15 years, 23 years, 30 years? I don't know. Let me know down below.